Hi, everybody. It is Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in and get settled. The eBay early update came out today, and today is February 26, 2019. Um, there's a tremendous amount of good in it, and I want to go over that so that you understand it, and you also understand how to use it. Because it's one thing to get good news and everybody goes, yay, and it's something else to understand how to use it to increase your sales. And I'm definitely going to talk about that. There's also a couple of big changes, and not everybody is really picking up on particularly one of the changes. And I want to point that out to you because it's a huge change. Actually, there's two huge changes. And what it does is it helps you if you're paying attention, which of course we all are. It lets you know the direction that eBay is going. And you want to be aware of that as a seller because it helps you in writing listings that are going to get found by search and shoppers and get sold. So I have titled the early seller update, eBay gives and eBay takes away, because there is some of both. So let me know that you can hear me. Just let me know, say hi. Let me know how your weather is. It was absolutely freezing here in New York today. That's why I've got my yellow eBay shirt on today, so we can be cheerful. I am going to hit high points, so I'm not going to absolutely go into everything. I'm going to hit what I think is high points. Hey, how are you? Hey, Bev, how are you? Hi, Nat. Excuse me, I can't talk today, guys. It's like a long day. Natalia, Mary Jo, Scott, how are you? 15 degrees. You're welcome, Scott. You're welcome. Hey, Ruth, how are you? Bev, I said hi. So good to see you. Joe, come on in from New Jersey, my friend. So, first of all, hang on a second. What I want to do is, it's on my Facebook business page. Also, it is on my website, but I've got a tip sheet for you, and it is complimentary. So let me just show that to you. So if you go to my website, ilovetobeselling.com, and click free tips, and then just hop over to eBay gives and eBay takes away. Just fill that in, and you'll get your complimentary tip sheet, and that's what I'm going to be working off of. So if you don't have that, grab it. Because what I do is I go through every part of it, and I break it down, and I explain every part of the update and how it's going to impact you as a seller. And hang on, there we go. Sorry about that, you guys. It's like trying to multitask. So the first thing is, yay, eBay. We always love updates to help us to be better sellers. So let's see what eBay's got in store for us. If there's an overall theme to this update, it's absolutely about get it sold. More and more, not that it's always not the focus of all of us, is to get things sold for conversion. And that is how long an item is on site so that it gets sold for a good price as quickly as possible. And I'm seeing more and more the updates coming out, the seller tools coming out, everything that eBay's putting out is to help us get things listed in a way that it gets found by search. And that's not just eBay search, it's also Google search, and to get it sold. Devin has talked about this a lot. It's going on 4 or 5 years now with structured data. And what that's about is so that the search engines can find your items, because you have to realize literally the millions of items that are for sale on eBay and the diversity of eBay's catalog. I think much more diverse than just about any other site there is, because we can create listings. So keep an eye on that, because more and more you're going to see seller tools, tools that help you convert, tools that help you to get found. So keep an eye out for that, because it's definitely a theme of where eBay's going. The other thing is eBay is rolling out things oftentimes as they're ready. For those of us that have been selling for a while, and I'm selling for over, I think it's like 15 years now, is it used to be we had these mammoth updates. So you'd have like a fall update, you'd have a spring update with literally just pages and pages and pages of changes. And that has changed. Like now you have this sort of mini update at the end of February. And my best understanding is we still have a spring update coming. And even before this update, there are things that get released to the platform that may be alluded to in updates, or eBay just does it. And the way you discover it is your seller friends tell you. And you can hop into my Facebook groups to chat about that. That's eBay Selling Basics, Nothing But Selling Basics, and eBay Stores, Nothing But eBay Stores. And also keep an eye on the eBay community boards. For instance, volume pricing rolled out, and it rolled out in November of 2018. And volume pricing is the tool that shows on your listing if you have multi-quantity of a single item where you can offer a discount. People have been really, really, really successful with that. So if you have not taken advantage of that, take a look at it. And I've got a YouTube on my YouTube channel, and just Google Kathy Terrill YouTube and you'll find it. But it's a very successful tool. And I will tell you another little tidbit is the very, very large sellers, my best understanding is they're not able to use it yet because they don't have what's called API integrations, which means the big systems like a Channel Advisor or an e-tail, it just doesn't integrate yet. I'm not a tech guy, so it doesn't really integrate yet. So this is a tool that really benefits small and medium-sized sellers because it's something you have to directly do in your seller hub. The various listing tools, my best understanding, don't do that yet. So jump on volume pricing. Okay, just about the same time that volume pricing rolled out in 2018, send offers to watchers rolled out. And some people had it, some did have it. It was a workaround, la da da da. Anyway, wildly successful. It's still rolling out. But again, my best understanding is just about everybody should have it now. And if you don't have it, if you do not see this function within the next couple of weeks, you definitely want to contact eBay customer service. Or if you're on Facebook and you're in the United States or Canada, reach out to eBay for Business. And I'm going to show you what the send offer to watchers takes a look at. And they have rebranded it. It is now send offers to buyers. And this is a big change. So let me just explain this to you. Let me show you my screen. Is when it was rolling out, you had to have best offer on your item. You don't anymore. So this is how it should be showing in your seller. So you've got your buttons at the top of Seller Hub. You have to click offers to buyers or it's not going to show. Now, if it says not eligible to send offers, okay, what that means is you don't have a watch. It could also mean that your item's not listed long enough. And this is another one which I didn't know about, but buyers can opt out of getting, I believe, marketing offers or promotional offers. If they opt out of that, you're not able to send them offers, okay? But if you see this eligible for offers, you can then send them an offer. And you no longer need to have best offer on it. What you need is it has to have a watcher on it, okay? Then you're able to send the offers to buyers, okay? And it can really help increase your conversion rate. See, send an offer to buyer, go to your active listing page. Buyers will receive the offer, they're notified, and they are notified that it will go away after 48 hours. Okay, and then they're telling you other great tools. Okay, so send offers to buyers. It's no longer send offer to watchers. It's send offers to buyers because you no longer have to have best offer on it. You do have to have a watcher. Okay, and they are looking to expand that, so there's going to be different parameters, but that's what it is now. So keep an eye on your Seller Hub for that. It's good. What I have found is I get about 1 out of 10. So when I send out the offers, and you set the price, by the way, okay? So it's not just a generic. You decide what price you want to send out. eBay doesn't tell you. You decide. So you either use it or you don't use it. You decide the price. You send it out. And this is another good one. You don't need to have an eBay store to use send offer to buyers. Isn't that great? So with a store, without a store, you'll be able to use that tool. And again, look in your Seller Hub, click the button, then you'll see the items that are eligible. Okay. And another update. This is another one that came out late 2018, or it might have been early 2019. Promoted listings, which is eBay's paid search, previously was only available to top-rated sellers and to eBay store owners. Now it's available to all sellers that are in good standing. So you do not need a store. You do not need to be top-rated. You just need to be in good standing. That's a change that came, again, it was either late 2018 or early 2019. Again, eBay is rolling these things out as they become available. Okay. Seller Hub. Now, this one I happen to really, really like. So hang on a second. Let me show you this. Because I'm all for saving time. So, Seller Hub update. You now have this handy little edit function. And I was helping a client today and we found this. So in your Seller Hub, and again, if you don't see this, this should be coming out, you know, momentarily for everybody. And you have to hover. So you're in active listings, and eBay gives you all kinds of detail on this. You have to hover or click on current price, and you'll get a pencil, and you can change the price. You can also do the same thing on available quantity. So if all of a sudden you get more, you can add more, or all of a sudden you're like, oops, I counted wrong and less. So if it's a multi-quantity, you said you had 10, you actually only have 8. You can now just click in here and change that. And you can also change the custom label field, which is a handy one if you're reorganizing your office. So that is all in Seller Hub. It's the edit function. Before, what you had to do is you had to click revise, scroll down, fix whatever you're fixing all the way down, and then confirm. This I happen to love. This is a huge time saver. Again, especially for small, medium sellers, because in my active listings, I can just click, change the price, change the quantity, change my custom label field, confirm. So yay, eBay. That is really, really terrific. You're going to have more files and reports that you'll be able to download right in your Seller Hub, and that's a good thing. Inventory. Now, this is one that I don't notice people noticing or understanding the significance of it. Inventory. Remember all those categories that were opted into the catalog and that you absolutely had to list with the catalog? And it was primarily electronics and appliances. You don't have to anymore. No more of that. Now, just to be sure, because I emailed one of my nice staffer friends, because you have sellers that have a lot of listings and catalogs, right? If I'm in electronics, I have a lot of listings and catalogs. The cell phones are all in catalogs. A lot of electronics, so like heaters and humidifiers and toasters and all that kind of thing, a lot are in catalog. So I said, well, what about all the people that do their listings and they put them all in catalog? I mean, what's going on with that? Should they continue to be in catalog? Should they pull their items out of catalog? What's going on? So what I was told is it is not required anymore to list in catalog. But if you have an item that's in catalog, it can be easier and faster to sell because, you know, you just put in the UPC or whatever, it populates it, it gives you that information. Okay, but it is no longer mandatory. Now, as a seller, I should immediately wake up to that. So it's like, okay, so we're not, you know, we still have product pages, but we're not mandating that you list with product. So what is eBay talking about? So what eBay's talking about is huge, huge, huge emphasis for sellers to fully fill in item specifics. Okay. They're really pushing to that and using that to feed the search engines, and they're using that to give them the correct information for Google. Okay, so, and they really talk about that. So back over here, let me just show you. So back over to the seller update. Inventory optimization. A lot of times sellers will go, you know, sort of poo-poo on that. Well, don't poo-poo on that. You want to read this. They talk about we're changing new other. But this is what you want to. They said they introduced product-based shopping, which helps buyers find it quicker, organizing the world's biggest marketplace, et cetera, et cetera. Moving forward, we're simplifying our ask of you. You're going to optimize your listings for product-based shopping. That means to help shoppers find it by providing complete and accurate item specifics when you list. Accurate items allow us to monitor which elements are most important to buyers when shopping, etc. Okay, so very smart. Whoops, sorry about that, you guys. Smart eBay sellers. What does that mean? Item specifics are super important. If product-based shopping, which means to help everybody find the items that they want to buy, the criteria that eBay is going to be using in the search filters and on the platform and giving information to Google is your item specifics. And item specifics are your keywords. They're all in the item specifics. Really pay attention. I mean, so many times when I'm working with clients, like a third of them will be filled in. I mean, there's a lot of items, and you go, well, that doesn't seem like it's that important. If it's there, it's in a search filter, which means eBay's telling you it's important. Now, if it really doesn't apply, because every now and then you do get filters where you're just like, I don't get this. I'm trying to remember one that I hit once, but it was just like, I don't get this. Even if it's like MPN and it does not apply, hit the drop-down menu, put in does not apply, or write in does not apply, okay? Don't just, oh, and modified, this came up in clothing. Modified means it's been altered, okay? So it was shortened, you changed the garment in some way. So obviously buyers are concerned about that. They're concerned if there's been any change to the item. So modified, no. Unless you look at it like a pair of blue jeans and you can tell, no, they did hem this. This has been professionally hemmed, then it is modified, and then you're going to make the notation. Really, 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 really pay attention to your item specifics. If eBay is not mandating catalog and they are re-emphasizing item specifics, it is very, very important. And I just don't see a lot of people paying attention to that. They're paying attention to other parts of the update. To me, this is probably one of the most significant parts of the update because it tells me the direction that the platform is taking and that search is taking, which I am always, always interested in. Item specifics, new other, there's changes in the condition of new in some of the categories. That was announced a while ago. Ah, great news. So this is a good one. It's like, yay! Terapeak is coming to eBay. And we knew this because we knew that eBay was buying Terapeak, but now it's really coming to eBay. Like you're going to see it really soon. This is how it's going to work. So eBay store owners, basic and higher. So starter stores don't get Terapeak. And if you have a starter store, just listen to people when they start getting the Terapeak information because it may be something you want. So starter and higher, you're going to get Terapeak. For now, it will not be in Seller Hub. It'll be a separate subscription. So what you'll do is you'll be getting emails from eBay. Start looking in your mailbox in March saying, hi, Kathy, and it will give you the login information and you will get a complimentary subscription to Terapeak. And this is going to be part of your store subscription. For those of you that are not familiar with Terapeak, it is very, very good research data on solds. And there's all kinds of filters you can put on for if you're doing research for products. Really, really good. And the big thing with Terapeak, the reason I had a subscription to it was eBay's data, if you just do advanced search on eBay, is short. It's like 15 days, 30 days. Terapeak goes back for a year. And on some of the Terapeak subscriptions, it went back further. And I emailed my wonderful staffer and I said, well, how much are we getting? And they haven't decided yet. So worst case scenario is we'll get a year of data, which is a lot because right now we don't have a year of data unless you're doing a paid tool. Best case scenario is we're going to get more than a year. So we will see. watch your inboxes. The emails will go out. They'll start hitting eBay messages in March. It will be, it won't be in your seller hub. You'll have to, log into Terapeak, but you'll have a complimentary Terapeak subscription. And that is terrific. There's some information on sales tax because various states now eBay is collecting for us. So just check on the site and look at that. It gives everything is very, very detailed. If you're unfamiliar with eBay Main Street, which is eBay Government Relations, they always also have very good information on sales tax. So take a look at that. Now we're going to the takeaway. So eBay gives excellent editing in Seller Hub. No more mandated product pages, like yay, just lots of item specifics. Good, good, good. We've got volume pricing. We're now going to have send offers to buyers. But, and this is the downside, is, and this is going to be starting in March and it'll be phased in, no more short-term duration fixed price. Now you can still do 3-day auctions, 5-day auctions, 7-day auctions, 10-day auctions, but no more short-term listings, no more 3-day listings, 7, 10, or 30. Now, a lot of sellers I know are already doing good till canceled. And what good till canceled means is you list an item, then when the 30 days is up from when you list the item is automatically renewed. And just because I do sometimes have some newer sellers listening, yes, every time your good till cancel renews, it counts as a new listing. Because I know sometimes there's confusing. People think, oh, good till canceled means, you just list it once and then you're never charged. No, no, no. It counts towards your listing every time it renews. No more 3-day, 7-day, 10-day, 30-day fixed price. Now you go, okay, eBay, like, why are we doing this? So a couple of things going on with short-term fixed price. One, and I was actually talking to a bunch of seller friends, is I'm really not aware, and there might be some marketplace out there, but by and large, most marketplaces, and I'm thinking Amazon, Walmart, Poshmark, Etsy, is the listings are good till canceled, which means they're up. It's not a 7-day, it's not a 3-day. Once you list, that's it. And then they have different structures on seller fees. So eBay was unusual in offering short-term fixed price. You have to realize Google basically can take anywhere up to 30 days to index a listing. Okay, sometimes it's faster, but it tends to be around 30 days. If you're constantly feeding Google short-term listings and then they die, it's like you're giving information, but then the information isn't good after a certain point, okay? Google likes information that is still alive, okay? It's why, for instance, things like Pinterest do very well with Google, because when you do the pin, that pin lives sort of now and forever. So it's the same thing with feeding Google information. A good till cancel, even though it is relisting every 30 days, it stays current because it's in the system. So it's going to help you with Google search, Google indexing, which is a good thing. The other thing is it helps shoppers. A lot of sellers think when they do a shorter term listing, it gives them an opportunity to go in and refresh their listing because it ends, they look at their ended listings, they relist them, they change them, whatever they're doing, great. The thing is that a lot of sellers don't. So the listing ends and they don't relist it, or they may take a week or two to relist it. And what can happen is a shopper sees the listing, and especially if the seller has then taken it and put it in social media, they come in, they click on it, not there, because it was a 3-day listing, a 5-day listing, a 7-day listing. So it can be not the best as far as for Google search, because Google is good till cancel, and it can hurt you as far as shoppers. So that's the main thoughts with taking it away, is to help Google, because we want Google to like us, and also keep shoppers happy. Now, That being said, I know there are sellers. It tends to be smaller sellers. Bigger sellers don't use short-term listings because of the integrations that they're using. Everything runs good till canceled, because you're talking about people that have thousands of listings. So people that, let's say, have under 100 listings, and some of those people might find short-term listings beneficial for whatever reason. They just like them. This is how you can do it. Is you're going to have to do good till canceled. You will not have the option for a shorter term listing. Very similar to when the return policy was changed and you were given less choices to choose from for return policies. This is going to be the same thing on listing. You will no longer, when you go to list at some point in March, have the opportunity to list shorter term. Everything will be good till canceled. You can end it. You can mark on your calendar. You can note when you're doing the listing, and you can go in every week or every 5 days or 7 days or whatever you want and end the listing. And then relist, either sell similar, relist for another listing, and do that every 3 days, 7 days, 10 days, whatever you want to create shorter listings. However, be aware of this, and this is the thing that when I was talking to the staffer said, realize when I list good to cancel, I've used up one of my listings. If I then end it at 5 days and relist, it's another listing. So let's say I do 10-day listings. Let's say I really like 10-day listings. Every time I list, it's a listing. So with good to cancel, I would only be charged for one listing. If I'm doing it every 10 days, I'm going to get charged for 3 listings. So if you are a more casual seller and you're using your 50 free listings every month, or maybe a smaller store seller, realize that by doing that, you're going to use up more listings. But you can do it. There's nothing against it. It is not illegal. I really ran this by my staffer, and they said, no, you can absolutely do it. It's totally fine. It is not against eBay rules, but you will be using up a listing every time. And the other thing is, just in case you use them, if you use something like a subtitle or Gallery Plus, where you might be charged, any of the add-ons that eBay has, realize every time you do the listing, you'll be charged for the subtitle, the Gallery Plus, whatever the extra is. But that is a legal workaround. So for those that want the shorter term, that's what you can do. Okay? So I'll just keep going through this. And speaking of eBay search, because oftentimes that's why people like the shorter term listings, is they're looking for some benefits in search, because they want to keep tweaking it and adjusting it really regularly. One is, absolutely, you should be tweaking listings. If they're up for several months and you don't seem to be getting any action, you're sending offers out, no one's reacting, you're not seeing a lot of impressions on it, is that you realize that when you are in good to cancel, particularly if you have a multi-quantity item, so if I'm selling like 5 shirts or 10 pens or whatever, oftentimes a multi-quantity, or if you have what's called a multi-variation listing, so I've got the shirt and I've got it in yellow and I've got it in pink and I've got it in blue, those can do very well, by the way, good till canceled, because every time I sell one, so I sell one shirt or I sell some paper, you do get a bump in search. So really look, if you are a multi-quantity, multi-variation seller, you definitely want to be listing that way, because every time one of your items sells, you're getting a boost in best match. And if you're unaware of it, best match is eBay's default search. So if I log into eBay and I'm perhaps a newer shopper, or I just didn't realize that I can change the different search algorithms on eBay, is best match is what eBay shows people. If they're shopping on mobile, and a lot of people shop on mobile now, I think it's over 65%. Do you know what the default search on mobile is? It's best match. So ranking at best match is big, big, big. Good to cancel is going to help you with that. And definitely for your multi-variation, multi-quantity, because you're going to get sales on that item. That helps you. Okay. So in closing, is editing inline and Seller Hub, huge, 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 huge help. Really, really, really good. Terapeak, excellent. We knew this was coming. We just didn't know when. We're like, when are we getting the data? When are we getting the data? We're getting it. And in March, complimentary for basic stores on up. Volume pricing is there for us. Promoted listings has now rolled out to all sellers in good standing. It's no longer send offers to watchers, and a lot of us were going through all kinds of algorithms to get it. Everybody should have it, and if you don't see it, like, you know, within a couple of days, you really do want to reach out to customer service. But again, you do have to have a watcher. It does need to be listed for a few days. And the other thing is that the watcher has to be opted into receiving promotional offers, which I didn't know about, but that makes sense because it is considered a promotion. All in all, very, very good. The short-term stuff I know is going to hurt for some sellers, but there are workarounds, and the workarounds are totally legitimate. You can totally do it, you know, ending the listing and doing it. And the big thing to me, which again, I think a lot of people are overlooking, is the catalog is no longer mandated, which again puts huge emphasis on item specifics. Really, really, really look at your item specifics. Really do the best you can on item specifics. If you're unclear, if you don't know, if you're like, I don't know what to put in here, really just hop into any of my groups, eBay Selling Basics, Nothing But Selling Basics on Facebook, or eBay Stores, Nothing But eBay Stores, and we'll help you out with that. Let me just see how everybody's doing. Hey, Nick, how are you? Use good till canceled, and it doesn't sell. The ranking might go down if no one buys it. So from what I know, your listing gets wait a minute, I'm not really sure. If no one buys it. So from what I know, okay, so let me explain good till cancel very quickly, and then I'm going to sign off. Is if a listing is up 2 months, 3 months, you're fine. But if a listing is actually helping somebody with this today, if your listing is up 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, and you're really not getting any attention, two scenarios. One, it is a vintage, collectible, unusual item. And if you're selling vintage, collectible, unusual items, you know they're called long tail items. You know that it can take a while to sell. It could take a year, year and a half, 2 years, 3 years. It can take a while to sell. So it's up, but it is a long tail item. Just go in and really take a look at your keywords and your item specifics in your description. Make sure you're using the best keywords for that item, so that if somebody is searching for that item, which is unusual, it is highly collectible, they will find your item, okay? And something that is 2 years old is not vintage. It might be highly collectible though, okay? Vintage tends to be, it's supposed to be 20 years or more on most platforms. If you are selling what is more normal merchandise, a shirt, blouse, a dress, a toaster, a mixer, something that's more of a commodity, it is not collectible, it is not unusual, it is more normal. I was actually speaking with a very experienced seller friend of mine who started small and scaled and is doing really, really well. And the rule of thumb this seller shared with me is all merchandise to move within 18 months. And that sounded very sensible to me. So if something's not moving like around the 3 or 4 month range, is go in and do a real overhaul on the listing. Or if you choose, if you feel like the listing has become dead, end it. Hit relist, excuse me, end it, hit sell similar, sorry about that, because if you hit relist, it carries the history forward. And if it's a dead listing, you don't want that. So you click sell similar, and you're going to need to really change the listing. And this was told to me by a senior staffer. You can't just go in and like rearrange 2 words. That doesn't do it. Really look at the keywords, really change the title. You may want to rearrange pictures, really check your item specifics. As eBay updates categories and does changes, you'll notice item specifics really change. So fill them in, look at your description. You know, you want to lead with a sentence or two that really describes your item and then bullet points. But when you're doing the ending and then the sell similar on a commodity, shirt, dress, toaster, mixer, I'm trying to think, toys, video games, things that should be selling, really take a look at your listing. And the other thing is you need to check your prices. It's just like the stock market, it goes up and down. If you're willing to sit and wait, that's fine. But oftentimes, if you drop the price 20, 30%, you'll get a sale. And just really keep an eye on what you paid and what you're willing to take. And I know there's people, but they're like, you know, well, I'm just going to, you know, wait forever till I get my price. And that's great. But maybe if you took 10, 15, 20% less and you're still doubling your money, it would sell now. And remember, all the inventory on your shelf is cash. So you want to get it sold so you get the cash in your pocket and not sitting on the shelf. Okay? If you look to cancel, it might go down. Hang on a second. And it doesn't sell. The ranking might go down if no one buys it. So from what I know, your listings get lost. The same items, no one can ever find it. That's why they renew as a new listing versus relist. Wendy, just like what I described, you end the listing and then you do sell similar. But you still need to change your listing. You don't just do sell similar and throw the listing up. Okay, you want to keep it fresh, good keywords, always take a look at it. If you're unclear, jump in any of my groups and the people will help you. Let me just see what else is going on. Good to cancel in auctions. Did you say they're doing away with 30-day listings? Yes, Deborah, they are doing away with 30-day listings. Yes, good till cancel renews every 30 days from when you list it. So if it's the 10th of the month, 30 days, 15th of the month, okay? Look it over, go over to my website, grab the tip sheet. It goes through step by step by step, read it over, know what the implications are. The big thing is really pay attention to your item specifics. Seller Hub is going to save us more time. Terapeak is going to give us data. No more short-term fixed price listings, but you do have short-term auction listings. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. Bye-bye.